Nobody wants change. Everybody is so afraid. People have been sitting at jobs that they despise, jobs that is sucking the life out of them. They are sitting at their desk, at a cubicle, they're going into work, doing whatever you do, and you're dying a small death because you are afraid to embrace change. You ever look back at old pictures of yourself and just have to chuckle, like really just have to sit back like, what was I thinking? I was looking at some old pictures of myself and, part of it I was laughing and the other part I was like, are you crazy? Like, I cannot believe this is me. I can't believe I used to dress like that. Like, I was looking at a picture and I had on the baggy jeans, like, sagging down, my behind hanging out. I got the coat on and it's like 2-3 sizes too big. But back in those days, you couldn't tell me nothing. Shawn Prez was fly. And God forbid some of you girls, like y'all I look at pictures and you got the big old hairdo looking like Madonna in the 80s or worse yet, looking like Michael Jackson in the 80s with the Jerry curl, and you couldn't tell y'all nothing. You never thought you'd change those styles and never thought that those things would go out of style. But when you sit and you really think about it, right? Everything in this life changes. The world keeps spinning. It never stops spinning. The seasons, they constantly change. And we accept it. We understand that that is life. That's what life is. It's about change. People come, people go. It's always going to change. But when it comes to our professional life, when it comes to our careers, nobody wants change. Everybody is so afraid. People have been sitting at jobs that they despise, jobs that is sucking the life out of them. They are sitting at their desk, at a cubicle, they're going into work, doing whatever you do, and you're dying a small death because you are afraid to embrace change. Don't get me wrong, right? I understand that change can be scary. But if you look at this thing very simply, the person who you were in your 20s is not the person you became in your 30s. And the person that you were in your 30s has evolved, matured, had more experience. And that person is just an evolved version of yourself in your 40s, so forth and so on. And it's okay. You're not supposed to stay the same. None of us are. We're always supposed to be growing. We're always supposed to be enlightened and understand more about who we are, our likes, our dislikes, our passions, our dreams. Things change. And it just puzzles me when I see people sitting and they are so afraid to make a move. They would rather sit in a place where they are just totally unhappy. Those 8 hours in that day of those 8 hours in that part of their day is the worst. They are literally dying a slow death instead of just embracing the fact that there is something more for me out there. And sometimes I just think about it because God equipped us all with this sixth sense, something in us. Call it intuition, call it an inner voice, call it whatever you want. Oprah sometimes says it's that whisper, but God equipped us with this. I can look at myself, right? If I look back at the 20-year-old Shawn, there's no way on planet Earth, no way. As hard as I fought, as much as I wanted and desired to get in the music industry, there's no way that you could tell me that one day, me, Shawn, I would voluntarily be like, you know what? I've had enough. I cannot work with another artist. I don't want to break another record. The music industry is served its purpose, but it is time for me to move on. There's no way that in my 30s, you could tell me that I would feel that way about marketing and working with corporate brands and merging brands with artists and doing these endorsement deals. You couldn't tell me that it would change. And one day I would be sitting in front of this computer or in front of this camera and speaking to people. I didn't see this coming. This was never even a dream of mine. But let's look at this in simple terms. Had I not gone through those experiences, those experiences don't even connect with one another. All of the different experiences in our life, sometimes you can't see the connection until you look back. But looking back, it all makes perfect sense, because now I can speak to you guys from a place of somebody who did it. I can speak to you guys coming with a wealth of experience, helping you to understand that, you know what, it's okay. Sometimes you're not gonna love what you do anymore. Don't be afraid to jump out the window and make a change. Don't be afraid, even if it's one step, go toward another direction. Even if you love what you used to do, it's okay. And all of the years of me building businesses, of all of the years of me breaking artists and, putting on production, live production, it all has led me to today when I can speak to people and I can speak from a place of knowledge and experience. God doesn't make any mistakes. It is so divinely laid out, but you have to be willing to trust the process. You can't be afraid of change. Stop being afraid of the unknown, because it always, when that voice inside of you, when that thing is gnawing at you, but it's time for you to move on. It's never wrong. It's always right. But you have to be willing to listen to it. And, this is something we all hear. We all feel like inner, I don't know if I want to call it an inner voice. I don't know if it's intuition. I don't know if it's like Oprah says and it's just that whisper. I have no idea. But here's what I do know. We all hear it. We all feel it. But most people choose to ignore it. And I want you guys to stop ignoring it. You know good and well when it is time for you to make a change. Sometimes it's in business. Sometimes it's in your personal life. You know when it's time for you to make a change. But it's time for you to man up, woman up, and go out there and be willing to embrace the unknown and do it. Make the change, because it's going to lead you to higher ground. That much I can guarantee you. Just something I wanted to share with you guys, because I feel, I read your comments and I speak to people, and so many people, they know that they're supposed to be doing something else. They're just so afraid to go after it. This is your license to do that. Make the change. Better yet, before you make the change, embrace change. Peace and love. And I'll catch all of you guys on the next video. Make every move a power move.